Hello my loves, how are we? How are we doing? I was sitting and meditating and I had a thought and a perspective that just came through, and I wanted to share it because I think it's worth sharing, and also I think it's just something that, itchiest eyes this morning. I wanted to share this perspective because I was sitting and meditating this morning and it was something that was coming up for me, and I wanted to share it because I do wonder if this is something that other people are experiencing who have all this ambition, have all this drive to go and do the things they want to go and do, but they keep getting stuck. Now, personally, I think it all boils down to just fear. Fear as a broad statement, that we are scared of the unknown, scared of how people are going to receive it, scared of being our authentic selves, scared of failing, scared of trying, scared of getting it right. Like, there's so many aspects to this. However, I wanted to add another layer in here and just something to think about. If you've ever had an experience of needing to be right all the time, because your experience up until this point is that if you get stuff wrong, that it's uncomfortable, it's challenging, and things are hard, and that maybe you've had experiences in your past where by getting things wrong it made things really challenging. And I just wanted to offer this perspective that if you're still stuck and you know you want to change, you know you want to move things into new territories, and you want to, overhaul your life, you want to call in the dream car, dream house, the dream bank account, the dream job. You're like, I want to do this, it's coming, I can feel it, all of that stuff. And yet you're still like, what do now? And I had a thought about it this morning, and that right now where you are, you have all the answers to everything, right? Like, you know what's going to happen when you get up in the morning. You know that, like, what your routine's going to look like. You know if you work a 9 to 5. You know, like, what time you're clocking in, what time you're clocking out. Most of the time you know what your day's going to look like work-wise. You've got a very vague idea of what's going to happen, and you know that if you've been in this job for a while, for example, you know that anything that comes across your desk you're going to have the answer for, and 9 times out of 10 you're probably going to have it right. And if you have it wrong, it's not going to be that difficult. If you get it wrong, it's not going to be that catastrophic. And I do wonder if it's this need to be right about everything, have all the answers, that's keeping us stuck. I know that there's a big layer here as well about getting out of your comfort zone, because your brain is going to keep you in a state of wanting to do things that's familiar. It wants to know familiarity. It's not wired to be happy, it's wired for comfort. So if your comfort is working in that same job and doing it every single day, but you know exactly how your day is going to pan out, you know exactly what questions are going to come across your desk, you know what time you're going to leave, you know what time you're going to start work, your brain is going to keep you there in that comfort. And I do wonder as well if there's just a layer there of, it being really uncomfortable with the thought of getting things wrong. Like, it's almost like having to take the ego out of it. Take the ego away, take the perception of what you think you're going to look like to other people if you get this wrong, or if you get something wrong. And again, learning and growing in real time. And it's just, I do think that there is something here about, obviously getting out of your comfort zone is how you start growing. It is how you start progressing, changing things when you know that you want to change. But it's that, again, fear of, I don't have the answers. What if I get it wrong? What if I look like this? Blah, blah, blah. Like all of these, and it's getting out of that headspace and moving into a headspace of self-trust. You know, is there a tiny version of you inside inside of you? Is your inner child panicking? Are they saying, oh, but I don't want to get this wrong, I'm going to look silly? And it's reminding that inner child that, well, first and foremost, embarrassment is a choice. It's one of the best pieces of advice I've ever been given. Literally live by it, because it is a choice. And also the fear of being seen, you know, fear of getting stuff wrong, fear of failure. It's knowing that you're going to come back to yourself, and that yes, you probably are going to get stuff wrong, you probably will make mistakes. If you had the answers for everything, if you knew everything, if you were going to be right about everything, then surely you would have everything that you wanted right now. To have everything right is to be where you are right now. Like, to know you're not going to get anything wrong, for the most part. You might still make mistakes, but they're not going to be perhaps as big. And I do wonder if, yeah, just thinking you're going to get something wrong and not having the answers to things, you knowing all the answers right now is why you are where you are right now, because you have those answers. I just wanted to share this. I don't know if this is going to land. I don't know if this is going to make sense to anyone. I'm still forming this thought in real time. But I do think there's a lot to be said about needing to be right about everything when you don't necessarily know what the outcome is going to be. And actually, it's to let go of that. Let go of the needing to be right about everything, needing the reassurance that everything's going to work out, because it will. Ultimately, everything will work out. But there has to be mistakes along the way. There has to be opportunities to learn from them, because that's fundamentally what happens, in my opinion, when a mistake is made. It's an opportunity to learn something, either about yourself or, well, just fundamentally about yourself. If you make a mistake, what has that taught you? And whether it's something that either is a life lesson that is going to propel you forward, or it's a life lesson where you need to sit and delve into it a little bit more, because there might be something that happened prior to that that is potentially bedding in an old belief system that you want to let go of, that you need to rewire in your brain. I really hope that this makes sense. And as you can tell, I couldn't even wait to film this. I was like, oh, I could put something nice on. No, we're just in the pajamas. We're in the hoodie. Because I was like, I have to film this right now while it's in my head. So, again, holding your own hand here. We're always holding our own hands. Hold your own hand here. And I just wanted to leave that thought and perspective there, just as something to think about. It's certainly something I'm going to take away for a little bit. It's given me a shift that I needed, because do you know what? I am going to get stuff wrong. I'm going to make mistakes. Heck, I already have. And that's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to get stuff wrong. It's okay. It's you're meant to. It's allowed. You're meant to make mistakes. You're meant to get stuff wrong. Because you're meant to keep learning. You're meant to keep learning and growing. And I think that's really important. So, I just wanted to share that. I'm sending you so much love. As always, remember, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and have an amazing day. Bye, my loves.